This episode of Death Battle Cast is brought to you by G.I. Joe, War on Cobra, and Native. Stay tuned for more info later on in the show. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi there. Welcome to the Death Battle Cast. We are the cast and crew of Death Battle and more. I'm Ben, voice of Wiz.
I'm Sam.
I'm Noel, the voice of Noel.
And I'm Josh. I edit the show.
That's a true fact.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
It's a fact. I think I do a pretty good job of
Voicing Noel.
yourself,
Yeah.
It sounds pretty good every time I hear it.
Every time,
Yeah.
man. Spot on.
All right, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today. We've got a new Death Battle coming up, guys.
Very cool.
Do you remember which one it is?
Yeah, Miles Static.
Good.
Whew.
Good. I was like half worried somebody might actually, when I asked that, somebody might be like, oh, and say episode 3's matchup or something like that. And I was
Yeah,
like,
because
oh, shit, why did I do that?
originally, before we got deep into this year, 3 was supposed to be 1, and they got we turned them because of how it
Might have
was,
been
right?
4 was supposed. We've rearranged. some
No,
episodes.
4 was not supposed to be 1. Well, current 4. No, let's not
four
worry
is no
about this.
longer.
This is a dumb
Where
conversation.
4 was.
Yeah.
4 used to be was
And,
originally going to be number 1, and then now it's number 13 or something.
In like 2 months, just rewatch this episode and then it all
Current,
makes sense.
current 4 with 4s right now is gonna be so amazing, y'all.
What I like is that I legitimately do not know who's gonna win this fight, so I feel super relaxed right now. Because every time I'm on a death battle, I'm always just like, don't say the winner, don't say the winner. And then you ask me a question, and I'm like, what did you just say? Because I'm about to say the winner. What are we even talking about?
Well, who do you think? Who do you think is?
I mean, I'll say
Miles
who,
and Static.
who I would want to win. I'm kind of leaning towards, I kind of want Virgil to win.
No, yeah.
That's just, but I say that only because I grew up with the Static Shock show.
Yeah.
And it just had the worst theme song ever. And then
Well, which
Shaquille
one?
O'Neal was on it at one point in time.
There were 2, right? Two
Theme
different ones?
songs?
Yeah.
There were multiple variations.
They
But,
changed it, I think, every season or something.
but Into the Spider-Verse was so good, I just kind of want Virgil to win because that show was so weird. That's about it.
Well, guess what? Miles wins.
Oh.
Or does he? Who knows?
Ooh, I see what you did there.
It's a good one.
We actually have a little sneak peek of the fight.
Yeah.
Show off. We're super excited for this. This is animated by our 2D sprite team, animation director Luis Cruz, knocking it out of the park again. He's thrown in some cool Spider-Verse effects and stuff throughout it. Alongside Zach and new in-house to the team, but a longtime Death Battle animator, Kill Kid or Gus. He's joined in the group. He's down here in Austin, working alongside him. They're lined up.
It's always
in the
nice
bullpen.
getting young blood, very young blood in this case, into the company.
But all 3 of them are super talented. They've been kicking ass, working on the season so far. And let's go ahead and check out the little sneak peek for Miles Morales versus Virgil Hawkins, aka Static.
Whoa! Watch where you're aiming. I got places to be tomorrow.
For real? You attack me!
Well, I got more than one electric psychopath to keep track of it.
What's up? Dígame, along with this great power come responsibility. See the light get mighty close, I'll never swing away. I see you running, adios, bet I won't see you later. Forgive me, but can I be honest? I'm fully transparent. You ride on trash cans, shocking you be my next match. I'm running it over the wall, sticking it with the ball. You never see me at all. You taking a foul.
I call that the shoulder touch.
You ain't ready for the static, don't act dramatic. Break you down like it's mathematics. I'm the hero, you can check my status. Step on up, think you're the baddest. I'm magnetic.
Yo, who's on that track? Who's so like
That is an awesome combo of JT Music, Omega Sparks, and Swats.
Yeah.
Omega Sparks worked with us for. What was the last one he worked with us on? I know he worked with us on.
It might have been Balrog
TJ Combo.
TJ
No.
Combo.
That's what kind of introduced us to him because
Yeah, okay.
we used a track from Killer Instinct that he was on.
Okay, yeah.
He helped with. Ryujin. That's
Ryujin,
right.
yeah.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, where is this going? I'm loving this.
As the kids say, it slaps.
Oh, it does slap. It's lit.
So obviously sound design is not 100% done, so we didn't
Yeah.
have that in there, but that's coming.
Obviously, the final version will have sound effects.
Maybe.
We're not just gonna send it out there without. Like, yeah.
I'd be okay with it if it was just that track.
It's
though.
just the track. Not even the voices. We got, I believe, Kai Jordan and Zeno Robinson as the voices of Miles and Virgil.
They sound great.
Kick-ass job. Yeah. Man, I'm hyped to show you guys the rest of this fight because it gets fucking wild. Like, if you've seen Spider-Verse,
Oh, yeah,
right?
absolutely.
You've seen the Static Shock show, or at least remember a little bit of it. Dude, these guys, you dig into the comics, and they got some ridiculous shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
they're wild.
you think like in Spider-Verse, Miles just sometimes shocks people a little bit, right? He like zaps Kingpin. Kingpin's like, ugh, it's like a taser hitting me. In the comics, he can just blow the shit out of anything. Blow up a building if he wants to. It's crazy. Virgil, damn his electricity, he's got a lot more than I thought he had.
I liked from the show how Virgil, there's like I forget which episode, but it's one of the, definitely the first season, he's playing a CD like off of his finger, and he's just listening to the music.
Yeah.
That or even in the first comic, I think against Francis or whatever, he puts him on, like, he beats him and puts him on blast by, like, amplifying all the radios around him, so it's, like, broadcasting. So I was just like, man, dude, that's, like, it's not quite cyberbullying, but I was like, that's pretty, I was like, yo, it's like, you're really putting him on
the
blast. Like,
Man, yeah. Like, these characters, one of the best things about Death Battle is, of course, learning more about the characters that maybe you grew up with or you're familiar with, and we got a lot to cover with these guys.
Very cool.
So it's gonna be a fun episode overall. I think it could be one of our best season premieres, and we've had 7 of them, counting this one so far. So I think that counts for something.
Very cool.
As we near our 10th anniversary of the show.
That's crazy.
This is technically
Right
the
there.
9th year, so although we will reach the 10th year at the very end of it. For some reason, we decided to launch Death Battle 9 years ago or whatever, in December. So it's weird because our season finales will be right before it or right after.
Yeah, our
each
10-year anniversary is like a couple weeks after the season wraps, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The moment you were
a little
working on, like, the concept of Death Battle, did you think you would say 10 years later?
Yes and no. Like, I knew that Death Battle had lasting potential. That was kind of the point of it, is to create a show that, frankly, would be more popular than what Screw Attack back then was producing at the time, and something that could help carry us forward.
Yeah.
And then, as Screw Attack started to get merged into things, it was like, well, Death Battle is built to survive whatever happens to Screw Attack. So I always kind of expected to
that
keep
we
going.
did.
I didn't know
Here we are.
that I would still be doing what I do
Exactly.
in 10 years,
Just
but
kinda
I
riding that
figured it would
wave.
just keep going.
Very cool.
But I also did not expect us to have the team size that we currently do.
Yeah.
Like, I always kind of expected Death Battle to be 6 guys, 6 folks just in a room shooting the shit, animating crappy animations, and then we brought on Luis and Torian and joined up with the rest of RT Direct, and it's like, holy fuck, guys, we're animating 4 3D animated Death Battles all at the same time right now.
That's
It's
pretty
crazy.
Yeah.
How are we doing this?
What were you
right?
animating
4,
in-
3, 4, whatever. Quite a few.
What were you animating?
No, we
in
have more
first?
than that right now.
If you count DBX. I'm talking about what's being animated right now.
Yeah, I guess
say 'em.
4. 4, but
in the head.
they start on their 5th one here in like a week and a half. A 5th one will, it'll run up.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the
I
first?
almost which one is that?
Well, no, because Luis's team is doing 2 right now. There's 2 3Ds, and then we get another 2D.
Right.
So we'll have a 5th one spinning up here.
Luis is doing a 3D fight?
No.
No, he's
You
doing
gotta mix it up.
2Ds.
Gotcha.
Luis's team is doing 2. Then we have 2 3D teams doing 2, and then we have the
I
hand-drawn 2D is about to start up on 1. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
What was the first program you guys were animating in?
Premiere, right? You
Or was
did
it Final
Or
Cut?
Final Cut.
Technically, I animated the first couple episodes exclusively with Final Cut. Woo! Bad. I was just keyframes, man.
And this was Final Cut.
I would make
like,
sequences of
7,
sprites.
right?
Yeah.
good
I'm not touching that Final Cut X shit back in 2009 or whatever. Back when it first came out. Yeah, it would just be little sequence. I would make the sequences of sprites. And for some reason, I didn't try using Photoshop for this until like 3 episodes in. But I would make the sequences in Final Cut. I also had to make every episode in 2 weeks, including all the other stuff. So I make the sequences of sprites in the Final Cut and then put them into a new sequence and keyframe that sequence. It was really bad. That's why if you go back and look at some of the really early Death Battle animations, some of the sprites are just really blurry because I wasn't doing any sort of post like effects on them or anything. I just didn't have time for that shit. Like, I had to make this animation in a week because I also had to write and edit the whole episode and research it in the other week. And that was it. That's all I had.
Very cool,
so
man.
it was intense. But you know, once we brought on other animators, we finally were able to do better shit.
And then you guys had a live action one too. That was so amazing.
Which we are doing one of those again.
Yes.
Same
Very
people
cool.
too. Yeah, we love the Ismahawk guys, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great to work.
Yeah, so that would, if that goes on soon, that'll be 6. But yeah, we're, case in point, we're fucking busy.
Yeah. Very, very busy.
2020.
I mean, yeah. It's been an intense 2020 already. It's been an intense 2020 for 4 months already. So it's been a little crazy, but we're super excited about this season. Again, Miles vs. Static premieres next week, and the schedule's a little different now. So we are releasing this episode for first members on Sunday, right? Keep this in mind. First members, you get to see Death Battle first on Sunday. Then on Monday, that would be
27th.
the 27th, to double check, Monday the 27th, it comes out on YouTube. So that's the new schedule. Sunday, Monday. Every 2 Sunday and Mondays. We are doing this bi-weekly for 10 episodes, then DBX takes over for weekly releases, right?
Yeah, for 10 episodes.
And then we go back to bi-weekly Death Battle releases. If you noticed, we have both previews for Miles and for Static up already. They went up in the same week. Which is crazy to me. Like, we've talked a lot in the past about like whether or not we could speed up the release schedule for Death Battle, because like every 3 weeks was fine, but you know, it's like 3 weeks of no Death Battle. And we're finally able to kind of speed it up, especially thanks to new team members, expanding the team, these guys being fucking kick-ass at their jobs. Like, Josh, you're the editor for Miles Static.
Yep.
Like, we just went over a cut yesterday for it.
Shocking,
dope.
right?
It's pretty
Shocking. yeah.
Very shocking. Yeah,
See,
all
I almost
around.
said that, and I was like, that's gonna be too lame. I'm complimenting the
I'll
guy.
take
I'm
it.
not gonna, like,
I'll take
fuck
it.
this
I'm
up.
not gonna be on next week. I'll take it.
But we're very excited for you guys to see it. We really hope you guys like it. So check it out this Sunday if you're a first member. Is there anything else we really need to cover? Oh, I guess we can jump into what's going on, right? Let's do that. What's going on? Before we get to that, G.I. Joe and Cobra are back in G.I. Joe War on Cobra by D3 Go. Will you join the forces of the Joes and fight for justice, or will you seek world domination with Cobra? I mean, I know who would I choose. There's only one who has the sexiest voice in 80s cartoon history, if you know what I mean. You can download G.I. Joe War on Cobra for free on both Android and iOS devices. And whether you're a fan of the classic animated series, the toys, the comic books, the movies, there's a lot of G.I. Joe out there. G.I. Joe War on Cobra will pull you into its wide-ranging battles and massive roster, featuring the greatest heroes, villains, and vehicles from the series. Lead your troops and your base into intense battles. I also really dig the art style for this game. It's kind of this perfect combination of charming and bad to the bone, so check it out, it's really cool. And that's just the start of it. You can battle your friends too and work your way up the leaderboard. So while you're here, we have a special in-game gift from D3 Go. As a token of our appreciation for checking out G.I. Joe War on Cobra, we're giving out 2 free characters for all new players to help reinforce your army. Joes can look forward to picking up the free Bazooka. the G.I. Joe Missile Specialist, while Cobra followers, like me, can add to their squad the Missile BAT, the Battle Android Trooper. As we're all aware, knowing is half the battle, so check out the description below or head to d3go.com/deathbattle to download G.I. Joe War on Cobra and receive your free gift for your mobile device. That's d3go.com/deathbattle. Check it out. What does that mean? New year, new studio. This doesn't look like a new studio.
Yeah, no, but here in a minute we're gonna be moving to the new studio. We built a new studio. It's pretty cool. So expect a few changes. Like obviously today you notice this is a Wednesday, not a Tuesday. Wild World.
Yeah, I forgot
that's
about
one
that.
change. Yeah.
I got, man, my brain is totally fucked because I thought it was Tuesday.
Because we're
of
doing. Yeah, I know,
MLK.
right?
Right. Yeah.
Man, this whole week is messed up for me.
For me, it's just because it's raining right now in Austin. That's why I don't know what day it is. That's just how my.
It's also weird.
It's like
Let's do it.
it's like the rain
Yeah.
from, what is that Harry Potter movie? The Beast movie.
Oh, the
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts.
The one
The
Man,
Forgetful
And I
Rain.
lost them. Where are
That
they?
reminds me, that movie, the other night, this is going to be completely off tangent. The other night, somebody liked a tweet that I made when the trailer for that movie came out.
They
and I
went
was just
back?
like, yeah, like from, I think it was 2014 or 15. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
back there. Get out of there.
Yeah, get out of there.
Out of my old tweet.
Yeah,
Maybe
get
they
out
were
of
just
shit.
searching for Fantastic Beasts tweets.
Maybe, but I didn't even say Fantastic Beasts in it because it was a joke about being dyslexic and clicking on the trailer for Fantastic Breasts and where to find them and being confused. But
Which is probably what they
Wonderful.
were looking for.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, which was what I was looking for. But yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I mean, the tweet was a banger to be fair, but still, it was very weird. Anyways, sorry, bad tangent.
That's great.
And where to find them.
So yeah, new set, new year.
Yeah, so here, probably not next week, but maybe next week, if not the week after, we'll be going to a brand new set, and we have brand new super lush chairs, and
I helped move them.
Yeah,
I didn't,
you helped
I didn't get
move
a chance
them.
to see them. I saw boxes. That was it.
they're cool. You can come over
look
and
cool,
see
yeah.
them anytime you want. And, we may or may not have some returning set stuff, and it looks
Yeah.
very cool. So I know a
Remember-
lot of people have been asking for it.
Remember that cool set we used to have? It used to be right there.
Now it's TV.
Now it's just TV.
We are gonna have TVs as well, though. Where this set is all set in all TVs. Like,
I wasn't sure if you were like teasing what was going to be the new set, or if you legitimately didn't know whether or not we would have it.
no, it's set. Have you been in the room? It's set up right now.
Oh, okay,
The
okay.
only reason we're not recording there is because we don't have a door, and we don't want to piss off everyone in the building when we start yelling.
The people who are actually working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
who have real jobs. We don't
You're
want to
not
bother
revealing
them.
what's returning though, right? Is that saving for?
It is technically a new set using parts
Yeah.
of the old set.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know what mysticism we should keep around it. You'll
Well,
see it next
then
week.
I'll ask this question: were you able to get what Chad James took?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can go get it. No, Chad took the coffee table.
The cool light up
glass
Yeah.
screw attack logo table.
We can, but I don't know if we need a coffee table. It
also has the bolt on it.
We
For some
will.
reason,
Yeah, it has
I
the
just-
bolt.
I just
We'll
don't
have to
want
get a
Chad
new
to
skull.
have it. I don't know why.
Huh?
Need something for my drunks.
Your drinks. You have the fucking ground, bro. Come on, look how much space there is for drunks.
And didn't it light up, or did I make
It
that
did
up?
light up.
Okay.
It did?
Yeah, it had a glow in it.
I remember something was plugged into it, so yeah.
Yeah, we can get it back, but we'd have to change the top little plexiglass with the bolt in it. I mean, we could keep the
Can we
bolt,
do a
but I'd
heist
really love
where
to
we
do
just steal
the
it back
skull?
from
the
Chad
skulls. Yeah.
Let's just
We have
Do a
people here
heist.
who are experienced in heists, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's just do
yeah.
a heist. We'll steal it back.
Boom.
Okay.
It'd be an
belongs in a
easy
museum.
heist. Like, I'll grab the truck and call his wife and be like, "Hey, April, I'm gonna come by and get this thing
we have somebody on the
you
inside."
probably don't even want in your garage. I'm gonna take that for you." And she'll be like, "Great,
Yes,
thank
exactly
you."
it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then that'll be the heist. And
What do
then
I owe you?
It's a 3-car garage. He'll probably not even notice it, like that it's gone for months until he's on the set. And he's like, "Oh,
He's like,
it'll be fine."
That'll be a pretty successful heist then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An easy one. Let's
None
do
the
it.
wiser.
I mean, he's not holding it hostage. Like, when I asked, he was like, "Yeah, get a truck, please, let's get it." I was like, "Okay." But we just didn't, because I don't have a new top for it, and I want to get one with the
Yeah.
new Skull Boy.
Yeah.
Skull logo.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I also need to get other Skull Boys, but that's a different thing.
You're pointing down
Well,
here.
because
Why are you
the
pointing-
set has those hexagon things that have bolts in them, so I need to get those. Which
I see exactly.
once again ruining more of the mysticism here.
Spoil everything. Let's just spoil the second episode of the season while we're at it.
I thought you just meant like you were gonna have a series of skulls, like the whole set was like from that really cool
poster.
poster.
Yeah.
I thought it
we
was just
literally
a
made
whole
that.
set of
Oh.
skulls, and I was like, yo.
It's just,
We
it's
can
just
just
the old
start-
set, but it's just covered in skulls.
That'd be
We
great.
need to start
Everywhere.
pinching like I don't know what it was shitty like theater clubs. I'm sure they got a bunch of skulls.
See, that'd be dope.
Everyone
And
does
then,
Hamlet.
and then every cast could start like in Terminator, where you just like crush
the
the skull,
skull?
and then it, like
Sure.
the camera. I'm sure broadcast can figure that out. The
And they're
camera just
constantly
kinda
like
dollies
cascading
back.
behind us.
Oh yeah,
And
dude.
you can't hear what we're saying.
Love it. Let's
That'd be
Because there's a skull waterfall.
Yeah.
greenlit that. Let's just greenlit- so loud.
Great.
Just hear all throughout the
Constantly.
entire podcast.
We
The skull waterfall,
we
sorry.
could probably get a skull waterfall and put it on the TVs.
It's true. That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's greenlight that. Let's
That'd be, and then we could make kind of like you know how Wily always has his like, the final stage in a Mega Man that's
a castle?
floating, and it's got like skull waterfalls coming out of it, like that's the
Oh,
lab
okay,
up top,
okay,
like
okay.
it's the lab, and then the
Gotcha.
skull waterfalls
Yeah.
coming off. We could do a cool little thing. Mm-hmm. Probably won't on that one. That seems like a lot of work for some shit
a lot
in
of
the
work.
background, but
Yeah.
yeah, whatever, New Year, new studio.
A boy can dream. That's it. That's it.
Hopefully we'll
I
be there
mean-
next week.
If we're not having a coffee table, because we could just have a giant skull on the coffee table. Wait, giant, yeah.
Wait,
That's
if
right.
we got
That's
a giant
English.
skull as the coffee
table.
table.
Yes.
And nothing just,
eyes
everything
are
just
cup
falls
holders.
off of it.
Eyes. Maybe a large, like a T-Rex skull.
Oh, nah.
Yes.
It's a skull though.
That's fair. It's dead. It can't hurt
dead,
me.
it can't
It can't
hurt
hurt
you.
me. It's
I
the
mean-
idea.
Well, it'll be 3D printed. It'll be like black. It'll be cool. It won't be like
give
a
it a
weird,
shot.
realistic bone skull.
Has a
down.
T-Rex ever died in death battle?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, for
Darth Vader and Dr. Doom killed one, I believe.
Yeah.
Or somebody did. I can't. It might be that one. I
they
don't
did
remember.
the Lord's work. That's a good.
One of the
Great.
time travel episodes. Whenever we time travel, we love throwing in a T-Rex.
Yeah, why not?
There's a future time travel coming up that has a T-Rex in it too, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Just for Noel.
That's fair. That's fair.
We'll definitely have
We
you on
should
for
have
that
you
episode.
like voice the T-Rex or something.
I'll do it.
Would that be the craziest?
Can
like,
you
head
do
trip
a
for
good
you?
T-Rex roar?
Okay, so
Can't be
like,
afraid of
but
yourself,
kind of
right?
like the Jurassic Park roar, because that one's just more of like a.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like it's not a roar. It's like a.
It sounds like a sick train.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
It's close.
That's close.
Just close your eyes. Close your eyes. Just, everyone, close your eyes.
What if you were attacked by a T-Rex that was voiced by you? Would that terrify you?
No, I'd be okay with that.
Well,
Okay.
it's not just being attacked by a T-Rex. To clarify what we're talking about, it's not just being attacked by a T-Rex that scares you.
It's just-
the concept of being near one,
It's
right?
just it's just the idea. Like Gerardo tried to tell me, like you tweeted at me a long time ago about that it sounded like a duck. And I was like, bro, that thing is like a 40-foot duck. That's terrifying. Because Gerardo was like, how could
Yeah,
a duck be
not
terrifying?
helpful,
I'm
yeah.
like,
I'm
I'm
40-foot
surprised that you
duck.
still remembered that.
No, because it scared me.
It would still sound like it would,
If I
would
saw-
sound like if you took a duck and scaled
Exactly.
it up. So it'd
It
be
wouldn't
like,
change.
And if he had a mouth full of fucking razor sharp
Terrifying.
teeth, yes, I'm terrified
Yeah,
still.
dude. Ugh.
wait,
That's even worse.
ducks have teeth, right?
A lot of them, I think.
Yep.
So it's like that.
They have
Is
that
what
weird
a
serrated
T-Rex is?
palate thing, right? So that fishes can't get back out.
And they have the weird penis situation. That's ducks, right? Or is that
Yeah,
turtles?
that's ducks.
Or it's probably ducks and turtles.
I think it's both.
Even
Yeah.
worse.
Ducks
man.
are the worst. Did you
Yeah,
know?
now just imagine that,
on that one,
40-foot
Ducks are the
duck with a
worst.
6-foot-long weird dong hanging down.
Did you know that
Voiced
ducks
by you.
are? They're one of the only birds that have penises.
Wait, what?
97% of bird species don't have dicks.
So what do they do?
They're just they got they got
Is
a
that
weird
friction? Is that-
they got like a weird hole going on. And I
they
guess
just-
it just goops out or something. But yeah, they don't have dicks. Birds don't have dicks really.
Now I know why they're so angry, because I'd be mad too if I had to just friction it up. I'd be like, yeah, let's fix this.
Well, I mean, I think that's what you look at birds, and they're like, all the men have to be very beautiful.
It's because they're just just
Yeah.
dickless.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And now you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Good segue. That was a good
Yeah.
I wonder if that translated into the bird furry community. I bet it does. Should we go to the next segment?
Yeah. Let's move on. What's next? Community death battle?
We're on track for the fastest episode ever. Let's go. Look, did you know that deodorants have aluminum in it? Like, I didn't, and that's gross because aluminum just clogs up all your sweat glands and then makes you nasty and stuff. And also, I don't want metal under my arms because I'm not like a robot. So, try something new maybe. Native deodorants, in fact, which don't use any of that gross stuff. They don't use aluminum. They use, no parabens or talcs or anything gross. And they don't test on animals, which is really good because animals are cool and you don't want to test on them because that would be rude. And also, they have ingredients you know, stuff like coconut oil and shea butter and things you'd want to put on your skin, not a long chemical name that you can hardly pronounce. And not only that, there's no risk. So you can try it, 30 days, return it, no big deal, it's great. Still not convinced? Check out over 9,000 5-star reviews from happy customers who made the switch to native. In fact, Billy, the voice of Ringmaster in DBX, has been using it for a long time now, and he swears up and down by it. He actually made all of us go with the eucalyptus mint because he said it's the absolute best smelling thing ever. So I'm excited to get my package in here soon. But if you want to try it, you can get 20% off your first purchase by visiting nativedeodorant.com and using the promo code CAST during checkout. So for 20% off your first purchase, go to nativedeodorant.com and use the promo code CAST on your purchase. Back to the show.
Okay, so unfortunately,
Yeah, I hate everything about this being behind me.
Very large.
It is too large. I never wanted to see my own face in that much detail either.
Now you gotta make the
That's
pose.
worse than looking at
you should do it.
You gotta make the pose now.
Okay, I would say my least favorite thing about this job is fucking thumbnail pictures. In general, I don't like to have my picture taken. I just don't like, and I don't like to look at myself. Like, I just don't, everything encompassing it fucking sucks, and you always have to make like a face that's gonna make people click on it, which is never a fucking face I'd make. Like,
But also, you guys use wide-angle lenses as well, so I don't know if that's a creative choice, but it kind of, it
what is on the phone.
exaggerates.
Noel, it's just the phone. Don't worry.
yeah.
It's a wide-angle lens, man.
But, yeah, so we argued the other day, and this happened, I guess.
It was a great episode.
if you haven't seen last week's episode, this is the result of it.
Most people were like, this episode was a waste of my time, and I was like, all right, well, I had a good talk.
Great. Oh my God, last episode was
funny.
one of our best episodes we've ever had.
It was also so vulgar, we got partially demonetized.
Well, of course.
So,
Partially?
well, they make it's not suitable for most ads, so it's like the
Yellow.
only ads we'll get is like,
Ads that also say fuck and
Gotcha.
shit.
yeah, like the one that's always like the manscapey one, like that's an ad we would still get, but we're never gonna get like Johnson & Johnson's Dove hand soap, like that shit's never fucking happening. So yeah.
How does that work? Is it just like an algorithm
man.
that hears
Listens
the
It doesn't matter.
cuss words,
It
or does
doesn't-
someone have to go through?
It said it was actually reviewed by a person, but luckily on the
wow.
cast it doesn't matter too much because we have wonderful sponsors like today's
Yeah.
excellent sponsors.
But
But we did
if
say
you,
a lot
if
of
you have
swears.
not seen last week's episode, the chaos that was Sam versus Christina Parrish, our guest for the episode, was about The Office, whether or not The Office was a good show, essentially.
Yeah, and whether or not Frasier is better than it. Really.
That's what it evolved into, and it got pretty heated, and it ended up becoming a real-life death battle on the set of Death Battle Cast.
Two completely different shows, by
Very
the
different
way.
shows.
Like, this isn't even apples and oranges.
Very
This is-
Yeah, I mean, it is literally, it's like it's the 3-camera shoot to the 1 camera.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
it's
I see
like
what you're saying.
they are very
Gotcha,
different.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And then
That
another layer on that,
documentary
it's the
style look.
documentary.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But even more so, like 30 Rock's a single cam show.
Yeah.
The Office is single cam and mockumentary. Like it's so far removed from
Yeah.
Frasier.
I see.
Both
So-
great shows, I think.
For this community death battle, because Christina is not here and Sam is, Christina is not here to defend herself. which means I feel like the three of us kind of have to represent her.
Sure.
Yeah, and
Against
obviously
Sam
I don't have a vote. I'm not gonna
can
vote.
support
Well, no,
yourself.
because I'm in it, but that doesn't feel fair. Then it's like, then give me one vote, and Christina votes for herself, and then so her votes are nulled out. So this on y'all.
Okay.
Sure. Whatever. I mean, we have very, very specific rules for community death battles after all.
Did people send in stuff like they usually do? Like this
we
is why
have
Sam would
some
win?
answers. We have some
hell yeah, let's
answers.
go. Let's get
So
'em.
as always with community death battles, we let you tell us who you think should win and why using hashtag DeathBattleCast on Twitter. And we do have answers from people for whatever this is. All right, so let's get the first one. This is for Sam from Steven Sutton. And Steven says, I'm voting Sam. I've seen about 4 or 5 episodes of The Office and it was just not funny at all. Seen many episodes of Frasier, laughed my ass off. Sam's right. Laughing at people in a better situation is better than laughing at people close to my situation or worse.
That was like my big argument point. Is like in Frasier, it's easy to laugh at these people when shit goes wrong for them because they're pompous elites. In like, I can be like, yeah, fuck that person. Like, and then she's like, no, Michael Scott's hilarious because like you just laugh at him. And I'm like, no, Michael Scott is depressing because his life is fucking awful. People mistreat him. Nobody likes him, and we laugh at him. Like, I can't laugh at Michael. His life sucks. My life is too close to it. But in Frasier, I'm just like, these are pompous dickheads. Of course I can laugh.
I do think that was part of her argument as well because it's relatable in a certain way. It becomes funny.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be like everyone has a crazy boss or a crazy desk mate. Like you're supposed to laugh at them like because they're relatable to people in your life.
So it's more of like the pompous elites. That's just like a fantastical idea versus like something that's a little bit more down to earth, more relatable.
Yeah.
I compared it to watching a poor woman in a wheelchair falling down stairs to a rich woman in a wheelchair.
I'd laugh
Which one is
equally
funnier?
at both.
I thought both were funny as well. It was a terrible comparison.
Yeah.
All right, we do have an answer for Christina from Spencer Thu, who says Christina won. The passion she showed while arguing clearly showed how deeply she cares about The Office and how much joy it has brought to her life. Aw, this is a nice answer. Whereas Sam had the exact same expression on his face talking about Frasier. He would talk about his dog dying.
To be fair, that's not like a lack of passion. That's just my face's
That's just your
fault.
face.
Like,
That's
that's
just your face.
And also, like, I wasn't gonna yell. Like, I don't know, yelling. Like, I don't know about that. But yeah, fair, I guess.
Man, that is a good argument, though.
I still do think like
Which one had more seasons?
Frasier by 1.
Ooh, okay.
Frasier has 11 seasons.
2 more then.
Oh, 2 more. His Office is 9. Frasier has 11.
And he played that character on Cheers. Like
So
he
it's
played,
a spin-off.
Yeah, it's a spin-off of Cheers.
I
Yeah, but you
see.
don't have to even touch
But like just the
Cheers
fact that he
to-
played that same character for like 15, 16 years is wild.
And he's about to play it again, so that says something.
Or what if we do it where is it how do you say his name? Is it Kelsey Grammer?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so.
So he also played Beast, but
Wonderful.
the guy who played Michael
Scott?
Yeah, what's his name?
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell did have Jesus-like powers, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
In
Wait,
like
when?
remember the Jim Carrey movie? The he had
Heaven Almighty.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he was Evan.
He was
so he was Evan. So in a real death battle.
I don't think I ever actually saw the sequel.
Yeah,
Did
he
he
would
get
win.
Jesus powers, or was
No.
he just like?
No, he had to
It
build
was
an
Noah
ark.
powers.
He was Noah.
It was
yeah.
Noah-like
He could
powers.
talk to animals.
Yeah.
So would he be able to like talk to Beast?
Oh, see, that's interesting.
But
I
then
don't know.
I don't know.
Wait,
People
what?
who speak
I don't
English can
know.
talk to bees.
But like on a,
I think
like
he
a,
even speaks Latin. You have options.
Like, would he have
like
control
an animalistic
over animals?
level.
He's
Yeah,
like one of the most
yeah.
intelligent people in that universe. I
But
think
then-
a lot of people could talk to him.
But would he be able to be like, hey, dog,
Persuade him.
get on this boat?
And Beast's like, oh, I have to do this.
I have to do it. I'm an animal.
I'm compelled to do this.
Oh my God.
But then you
I
had to
don't
find a
think
lady
so.
beast because that was the whole thing.
A
One of
lady.
each.
I was trying to make a real death bat out of it, so
Right.
you'll have to excuse me.
Oh my God.
Steve Carell hasn't played a comic book character yet.
That's
but
fair.
You never know.
That's fair.
I don't think he's gonna.
Yeah.
Everybody does at some point in their movie career.
I feel like
Maybe
Steve
he'll
Carell
do
could get
one.
like
If they
like
keep doing
Kumail
more Joker
Nanjiani
stuff.
jacked for like something in Marvel related.
I think he might be a little too old to get that jacked. But then again, when you're like a millionaire, there's like,
you
That's
got-
all you have
yeah.
time to do.
yeah. Nanjiani was just like, look, I'm swole now, and I'm just like, yeah, well, I don't. What else have you been doing? Like, you fucking better. This is your job. like good on him for doing it, but also I don't know. Give me 6 months off work with millions of dollars and nothing to no day job. I'll be fucking jacked. Like no problem. If you're like work out 8 hours a day for 12 times the money, I'm gonna be like, fuck yes, sir.
This is like a new show.
Who played
There's
Can
a
you get
series. I know
swole or
what
not?
series is probably.
I mean,
I bet you anything. Somebody who runs the series that's coming up has thought about casting Steve Carell in it.
Was he in Mystery Men?
Steve Carell? No.
Adam Sandler, right?
Okay.
No. Ben Stiller.
Ben
Stiller.
Stiller, Hank
Did you
Azaria,
guys-
William
did you
H.
guys
He should be in
know-
Mystery Men too. They should do that.
They should.
Have you guys seen or heard of that like Harley Quinn?
He should be MODOK.
Spoilers, shit.
Oh my bad.
You guys have seen or heard that Harley Quinn show,
The
right?
new one?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really
Like,
good.
It appeals to adults.
Yeah.
Marvel's doing something similar. For some reason, the character that they chose to headline their adult like comedy superhero show on Netflix is fucking MODOK.
Yeah.
I think that would
awesome.
be funny. Like
Like,
it
there's a
doesn't make
giant
sense,
head.
but yeah.
And it's got Ben Schwartz in it and
Ben Schwartz. Patton Oswalt
Yeah.
is MODOK.
Yeah, I hear the Harley Quinn one's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, need to check it out.
But I could see somebody like Steve Carell getting cast as a character in that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like one of the just ridiculous
pretty
villainous
dope.
characters.
Yeah.
Fucking MODOK is getting his own series, guys.
What's it called?
Yeah.
MODOK?
I think so.
I think it's just called MODOK.
Everything. They're too popular. I think this is also at the point where these are gonna crash. Like superhero, everything is gonna crash soon.
I don't know. People have said that for a long time.
I mean,
and they just evolve
my
over
soon
time.
means like. I don't think it'll go away either. I just think,
It's oversaturated.
yeah, it's oversaturated
I think
and it'll boil
comic book
down.
movie could outlive superhero movie specifically. Like I think you still do comic book
Yeah.
characters that aren't like as like not about saving the world.
Yeah,
or
we'll
stuff
see
like
how
that, but,
fucking
like,
Mobius
lower-
does or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe in 5 years we're gonna see Morbius, whatever it is, the weird
Morbius.
vampire guy.
Michael Morbius, right?
Yeah.
Morbius.
We'll see how it goes here in the next 5 years with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Cinematic universes are probably gonna die out as a concept.
I'm
There's
curious if
something you
Morbius
keep
is gonna
doing
have
it.
the weird hand suckers. You guys remember
yeah,
that from
yeah.
the Spider-Man cartoon?
Because they couldn't show him. They couldn't
Yeah!
show blood. I think.
He had the vampire teeth, but then he would just like have these gross harassment like hand suckers that I was like, bro, this is, I remember being 7 and I was like, I would prefer to see blood. I don't want to know what this man does.
biting of the neck. They couldn't show
Yeah.
him biting the neck, and they couldn't show blood. So they decided to have him suck energy out of people with hand suckers.
An energy vampire.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
There's that show, that vampire show where they have the energy vampire. It's the What We Do in the Shadows. They
yeah,
made
yeah.
like a TV
Gotcha,
show out of
gotcha,
it.
gotcha.
It's not super great, but yeah, there's an energy
Yeah, I haven't
vampire.
seen the show. Love the movie though.
He's just in the first episode they introduce him. He's an energy vampire, and he's just like that guy in the office that nobody fucking like. He's just so miserable. He's just like, well, my cat died again, and like it's like sucks people's energy. It's very funny.
Oh my
Show overall was, but the energy vampire thing was very funny.
Well, anyway, a little off track. Obviously, that's what we do here at Death Metal Cast. But I guess we need to vote on who we think should win between these two.
I'm so torn because I love The Office, but I also agree that it's only really good seasons like 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And I love the characters enough to stick with them through the rest of the
I think
show.
6 and like probably after 5 actually. It's like when Andy is in it and Kimmy Schmidt, like I hated her
Right.
character.
Andy gets so much
like-
worse as it goes.
Yeah, Andy and Kimmy Schmidt, even though Kimmy Schmidt and that actress,
Yeah, great.
no, it's just the way that character is written is, and that's the thing I think I hate the most about it is like, in Frasier they're unbelievably pompous, but it's also kind of, there are those people. Mm-hmm. In The Office, it's like, I've never actually met anyone that approaches like that fucking daft and worthless. and-
Exaggerated. Yeah.
yeah, like, and just so, just awful.
I think that's why I liked Parks and Rec better than Office, because Office definitely had it was relatable, but it was definitely a little outside the realm of reality. And Parks and Rec just kind of embraced that and made
Yeah.
it more of a parody of real life.
Yeah, and,
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
and in the characters in Parks and Rec, like, they're never that bad. Like, they're never so, you never have to like look away from the TV because it hurts. Like,
Yeah, they kind of
like,
ditched the cringe.
they're yeah. The first season is a little okay, but like, and then the rest of the time, Leslie Knope is just like Yeah, I know people that have been that committed to doing their job, and like they might be a pain in the ass, but they're also a little bit admirable.
She's got tunnel vision, but towards a goal. Michael is like this inward, this pit of self-despair of like, he just has terrible self-esteem.
I think it was in the post show. I think it was we were talking about. Christina was like, she did like that fucking Mary Bang kill thing.
Yeah.
And like I was like, kill Michael, like just as a favor to put him out of his misery.
Okay.
Like, well, his fucking life is rough, man.
Yeah.
It's nothing
It gets
but
much better when he meets Holly.
Yeah, it works out.
Okay.
When he's with Holly, he becomes such a better person.
I was just gonna make my decision based off of the theme song, and I was just gonna pick The Office because with Frasier, I don't know what to do with those tossed salads and scrambled eggs. I don't know.
But it's
What do you do with it? So I was just like,
all right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get to the votes, but real quick, I do want to ask you guys who are watching right now, you first members, let me know who you think should be our next community death battle. I'm looking at the chat. Please do not spam.
I see one I like.
Match up over and over and over. But we will decide the next community death battle based on your suggestions. All right, so time to vote. Josh.
I agree with a lot of your points, Sam, but ultimately I think I like The Office more than I like Frasier. Both great shows.
How have you watched all of Frasier?
I have not watched all of Frasier. I've seen plenty of episodes, and it's great. It is good, but love The Office.
I've honestly only seen one episode of each show, so I'm just gonna say The Office because of the theme song, but really my heart says Community is a way better show than all of them.
Okay,
Absolutely. Community is fantastic. 6 seasons in a movie.
Community always has some shit seasons, though.
Just 4.
No.
Just season 4.
That was the gas leak.
Just
bro.
gas
That's
leak.
the gas
4
leak. That's the
seasons.
gas leak.
No. Just season 4.
right, so
Just
we
the
got
Den
two
Harmless
offices?
season.
Two offices.
But really Community.
Sam, you don't get a vote.
Yeah. Can I get my vote back? Cause
All right, your vote's back. What do you want?
yeah, Frasier.
All right. And then Spencer, your answer was so good that I just have to side with you. Christina wins.
Ooh. Okay.
Christina wins for me.
What is the vote though? What do the people say? That's the one that
let's
matters.
Go ahead and bring up the poll that you guys voted on.
It's gonna be The Office.
Oh,
shit.
Never mind. I fucking crushed it. All right, take it
Frasier
back.
head.
See, y'all's votes
that
is
fandom,
worthless.
that Samdom.
Yeah.
Brought it in.
Yeah. Well, that is a landslide.
Yeah.
How did you pull that one off, Sam? I feel like
Because
Who's our audience?
I debated.
Lots of people
better.
from Seattle.
Yeah.
Love Frasier.
I don't know if people from Seattle are fond of Frasier, actually. I can
again,
see
this
it the
wasn't
other
a
way.
death battle between Office and Frasier.
True.
It was between Christina and you.
Well, I believe my argument was much more sound, and I made an argument rather than just cursing and getting us demonetized.
She got, yeah.
So you know, that was.
It was heated
Yeah.
on her
I used to
end.
watch Frasier as a kid, and even though I'm sure if I watch it now, I'll understand a lot more of the jokes. But as a kid, I would just watch it to be perceived as a grown-up to my parents. So I would even do that
yes,
fake
Frasier.
grown-up laugh. Yeah, I'd be like, Niles,
Here's Niles was nominated for an Emmy or won it every fucking season of that show. That's how good he was.
I
at
mean,
it.
but
like
I
The
can
Office has
appreciate
none
it
of
now.
that shit. Like everybody.
Steve Carell was nominated every year, but he never won.
Yeah, because let's be honest.
Because Jack
he was
Donaghy
only-
won. Alec Baldwin won every year.
Yeah, he was only nominated because it was like the most popular show on TV. and because only a good actor could make us just despise and feel bad for a character.
He's
Like,
better than David Brent. David Brent is like despicable.
Yeah.
Michael has some redeeming qualities.
So I assume Christina was talking about the American version.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Not
Of course,
the,
yeah.
the,
No, not the
Ricky
British one.
Gervais.
It did win.
Yeah.
It was best comedy for season 2, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it deserved. The second season of The Office is great.
The weird thing is that she was like, fuck Jim and Pam. That's the worst part of the show. And I was just like, yeah, okay, you're wrong. Like, flat out.
No.
Bold.
Jim and Pam's the best part of that show.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, she's young. She doesn't have faith and love and shit. So, like, it's a different story.
All right. She's not here to defend herself, so we'll move on from this. We got to pick out a new community death battle from you guys. I've seen some awesome suggestions in the chat.
I saw one that was Lucifer Morningstar versus the Beyonder. I don't know anything about the Beyonder, really.
Yeah.
But the Lucifer show is very good. Like, it's not great TV, but I loved every
I saw
moment of it.
a Geralt versus someone in the chat, and I was like, I just saw a Geralt, and I was just like,
Yeah, he's
Geralt? I don't actually see that.
Geralt? Am I saying it correctly? Geralt?
I saw
Jared.
a Ray versus
Jerry.
Cora.
Good old
Jared the
Jerry.
Witcher. I think the one that stands out to me, and maybe it's just because of my bias and also what's come out recently, is Ray versus Cora.
Yeah. I saw that one.
I'd like to do that one.
That'd be
so
cool.
Let's go for that one. Thank you, Ethan Winnick, for that suggestion. I've actually seen that suggested as a death battle a lot recently, thanks to Rise of Skywalker. So we will go with Rey from Star Wars versus Cora from the Avatar series.
Sweet.
And see which one wins in a death battle. Death battle rules apply. This is different from the crazy shit that we just did. We're back to the normal stuff. So let us know who you think should win between Rey. I almost spoiled
Oh.
her last name.
Yeah.
Rey blank and Cora, who doesn't have a last name.
Blank.
Do they have a last name? Whatever. Rey and Cora. we will have a poll up on the Death Battle Twitter at Death Battle later on this week, and then you can use the hashtag DeathBattleCast to let us know why you think your pick should win. And we will discuss it on the next week's Death Battle Cast, hopefully on a brand new-ish set.
Hopefully.
As long as things
Fingers
work out.
crossed.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for this episode. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
For jumping on here.
Yeah.
We will see you guys next week.